video is the twins' 11-month update. Can y'all believe that they are 11 months old? It's blowing my mind. I don't know how long they're going to be able to stay here. I'm probably going to have my husband take them upstairs, but we're going to be putting a bunch of clips in so you can see how they are growing and progressing. So yeah, so let's get into it. So let's do their measurements and weight and everything. So right now, Sawyer is measuring about 1 inch bigger than Griffin. He's about 28.5 inches long, and Griffin is about 27.5 inches long. They're just really just about 1 inch apart. We're still hoping Griffin will stretch more as the more he stands, and you know what I mean? Because he's been sitting and laying down a lot because he was always a little bit more behind than Sawyer. And then their weight is about 1 pound apart, which I think is funny. Inch, pound, so Griffin's about 22 pounds and Sawyer's about 21 pounds. Both boys are still measuring kind of in the small percentile. I think they're like 5th, 3rd percentile in height, and weight they're about average. I am just shocked. I say this every video I do an update that they are this tiny because I always have big children and these guys are tiny. I still think that they're in the twin growth rate. That's what I've heard and researched, so I'm not really worried about it. I think at 3, if they are still short, then they are going to be short. But I'm hoping that they'll at least, I mean, I want them to be average. That's my mommy's wish, it's average. But right now they are my little tiny little men. So let's get into what they're eating. They are right now on mainly baby food. They usually have about 3 to 4 jars every feeding. Today they actually had 5 for lunch. They were just extremely hungry. Started them on eggs and some beans. I'm gonna start introducing some soft carrots soon, some soft peas, because they really only have 2 teeth right now each. They both have their 2 bottom teeth. These little 2 right here. I know that Sawyer is getting his upper ones, but they don't have enough teeth to really chew on anything. So I'm still hesitant to give them anything other than super, super soft, squishy food that they can swallow. They love stars. They love these num-num, I think they're num-nums. They're the same kind of food like the stars. And they chow down on those. They love those. I know that they're craving for more food. I know that they look at my plate or their siblings' food and they will be eyeing it. I know Griffin especially, he loves food. So I'm hoping that these teeth start popping out soon so they can eat, because I'm even worried about their birthday next month because they're not going to eat cake. Like, they really won't be able to eat cake. I'll have to like really mush it up, or they're going to have to just have the icing. They both are still blue-eyed babies. That is done. They're both sandy blondes. Griffin has curly hair. Sawyer has straight hair. They are very different personalities. Sawyer is more of the feisty, more of the adventurer, never stops, likes to move, likes to run, likes to jump, likes to crawl. He is just a goer. And Griffin is more just laid back kind of guy. He likes to chill, likes to observe, very observant about everything. I do think that maybe he will evolve and just follow along with his brother, and they're going to get into so much mischief. I already know it. It's going to be crazy. Griffin is officially 100% army crawling. He is just now starting to get his belly off the ground, which we're thrilled about. He can feed himself, feed stars to himself now, which is great. His sitting up is getting a lot better. His head strength is still, like, I would say it's every day I can see improvement, but I'm almost to the point where I'm like not worried about it so much anymore. I was really worried about it last month because he would get really tired and just like collapse on the floor. He still cannot sit from like even laying down. He can't get himself to the sitting position yet. We are working on that. I'm trying to help him get there. He is behind, and if you've been following my story and my vlogs, Griffin has had a rough start and he is just behind, but I am seeing him hit milestones. It's just on his time, but we're just happy to see the milestones. Sawyer, on the other hand, is just, you know, he is going a million miles a minute. He is crawling, he is standing, he is balancing, he is putting everything in his mouth. He is just completely like where a normal 11-month-old baby should be. And normal is hard to say. I know every baby develops on their own, but that's kind of like where my older son was at and my daughter was at. He's like right where they were. Griffin is still, I think, a few months behind. So I think Sawyer will be walking within the next month or 2. He is really balancing, really trying. He's taken at least a step, I think. Last week, he saw a step. So he's just still trying to figure it out. I did want to talk about Griffin and his eating problems that he's been having since birth. If you watch our last vlog, we went to a specialist, the ears, nose, and throat doctor, and they pretty much said that there's nothing physically wrong with him that they see, so that's all ruled out. They said that's not what's causing his eating they, you know, it's really hard and frustrating because they see this fat, chunky baby and they just can't imagine there being any problems. And they can't, and they know they have no idea what me and my husband went through to get Griffin to gain weight, to eat, and what, like, the suffering he had to go through, Griffin, to get to where he's at, the coping he has had to do. But, you know, it's nice to be reassured that nothing physically is wrong with him. But again, we still don't know why he can't suck. We still don't know why sucking a bottle for him is almost impossible. He chews on his bottle to get the milk out. I've introduced a sippy cup to him, and he is, you know, kind of a similar thing. Chews on it, gets the liquid out, spills on himself. It's the same kind of thing. So I think until he's, I don't even know, 2 maybe, when he really can get a cup going without it having to be a squishy nipple, I think that's when things are going to improve for him, where it's not going to, we have to need bibs all the time. Yeah, so I don't know about if we're going to see another specialist or what. They go to their pediatrician next month. I'll talk to them all about this stuff. You know, it's really hard. They look at me like, I don't know what to do. And it's kind of like how it's been since the beginning, you know. I get angry a lot because what happened with Griffin in the beginning and what the doctor said to us were so wrong and so, like, mind-blowingly stupid of them, and it makes me so mad. Like, he's colicky, you know, then he had a broken collarbone and there wasn't that, and the fact that they never said, you know, yeah, he can't suck, we should figure this out, let's go to a million specialists. Now, then it's the one doctor, they said nothing's wrong with him and it'll work itself out, and it's baloney, you know. Yeah, it has worked itself out, technically, but he's eating, he's healthy, but there's still, you know, he still can't suck, and there's no answers, and we might never get answers. They are playing with toys. They are fighting over toys. They are loving bath time, totally rolling over, you know, everything. You know, they're doing like normal babies, typically, other than Griffin's a little bit behind, like I said. They are still in their jumpers. Mainly it's for when mommy needs to contain them so that they can pick up the living room, or I'm worried like they're going to get in the way of their brother and sisters playing with something. They're not in it like how they used to be like all the time, because they help them stand up and they really liked it. Now it's kind of like just as a necessity. So sleep. Sleep with these twins have really taken a turn for the worse. We are in the middle of just not sleeping right now. We don't know what's going on technically. Like, we're trying to figure it out. We think it's teeth, but we are starting to sleep train, and it has shown some success on some days and some not. Mainly success. We think we have Sawyer somewhat down. Like, what happens with Sawyer when he sleeps, they'll go to sleep around 7:38, and then around 11 o'clock he'll wake up crying. And what we do, because which I'll do a video on this whole thing, but like, we separate them. Like, one will go downstairs, one will stay upstairs, because if the one cries it out, it'll wake the other baby up. But we have, you know, we're coming to the point where Sawyer is starting to realize that, you know, he's going to cry for a while. Mom and Dad are probably not going to come. I'm going to go to sleep. And we're working on it with Griffin. But this has been a long road. Like, a long road to hoe. Like, it has so been really hard. I don't know how long this is going to take for us to get this completely, like, fixed. And them sleeping, you know, 8 hours a night. But right now we're just one day at a time. And every night we say a little prayer. Say, please let tonight they don't wake up at all. But pretty much every night one of them's waking up. So I don't know how long this is going to take. Just trying to tell myself this too shall pass, right? Griffin's the same way. But he wakes up usually around 2 in the morning. So you see, we're getting up a lot in the middle of the night. And if one of the older kids wakes up, it's just done for. That night is just done for. Happened last night. It was just, it's kind of like a joke over here. When we do get to sleep, I don't know if we're going to remember how to sleep. That's what I fear. I feel like me and my husband won't know how to sleep again. Oh, it'll be funny. Wynn and Harrison, their siblings, love them, love playing with them. Wynn is still, I'm still trying to teach gentle to her. She still thinks they're her babies. She just loves them so much, and she's still learning, like, her own strength. You know, they think that they're her baby dolls. I don't think she's having a really hard time understanding that they're alive. But, you know, it's gotten better. It was a lot worse a few months ago, but now I think she's finally getting it to a degree. She loves these guys. Oh my gosh, they are going to be best friends when they're older. I can't even imagine. Like, all of them, like, they're just all love each other, and it's so sweet. I'm so blessed to have them all so close in age. That's kind of why we did this. We wanted our kids to be close in age, so they had each other as they grew up. Yeah, it's hard on me and Will, but they're gonna have each other, and it's super awesome. Sawyer and Griffin, they love television. They love Daniel Tiger. They love Bubble Guppies. They love all television. Sawyer especially lives for TV, which is a gift for me, because if I need to go do something, I can put a show on and he'll just, you know, stare and love it. But Sawyer is super mischievous. He gets into everything. This kid can find anything and put it in his mouth. It has been so scary. Like, that's why I had to do the baby jail, because the baby jail, like, we had to lock them in, like, and they're in the living room. They can't get out because he was literally putting everything in his mouth, and it was just, we had to fix it because he was gonna, like, choke. And so that is completely handled now. Both babies are super wiggly now. When I do diaper changes, it's almost impossible to change their diapers. It's super hard. I have to give them a toy. It's a lot, diaper changes. I remember this phase with all of my kids, and I can't wait for it to be over because it's hard. It's so hard. You're like, stay still, please stay still. And you're like, here's a toy, here's this, oh, my shoe, whatever it takes. That's been great. They are going through so many diapers. Like, it's insane. They're boys. They feel like when you put a clean diaper on them, they pee in it. They poop at least 3 times a day each. It's a lot of diapers over here, let me tell you. And we're adding another baby, so it's going to be just a diaper mania. It's going to be a diaper explosion. And so one of the last things to mention is that Sawyer is completely off the binky. He hates binkies, and Griffin is still super attached to them. So it's very fascinating, because I didn't think that was possible. Like, I didn't think a baby could actually just say, nope, no more binkies, I'm done. But Sawyer is done with binkies, hates them. And Griffin, I can't get away from him without him crying, so. But I will be trying to soon. I don't know when, because of all this feeding, sucking problems, when I will be starting to take the binky away a little bit. Now, one more thing I wanted to mention at the very, very end is that I was trying to remember what the doctor said, because I am still worried about Griffin's speech. He has not really cooed or said mama or dada like Sawyer has said those things in those sounds. Mama? I don't know if he knows exactly what they mean, but Griffin hasn't done those things yet. They said around 15 months, if he still hasn't like started cooing, to find another specialist. He didn't even say what specialist, but talk to their pediatrician again. I'm still hoping that it's just a delay and that he will be there soon. But, you know, I don't know. This has been a question mark since birth, so I'm just glad that he's healthy and nothing's really physically wrong with him. That's the big blessing. So yeah, I think that's it for their update. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe and thumb this video up for us. We would super appreciate it. We do videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday nights. Please look out for them. Mainly, we post them late at night. So, because that's when we're editing and putting them up, because the kids are asleep. Yes, so thanks guys for watching. Bye!